Fred Kerley has signed with Asics.
He's set to compete this week. I mean, I'm a little surprised, right? Ran for Nike for all those years. He's now the fastest man in the world. Got the gold medal to his name. Got, some potential in the 200 too, so we could see some doubles, right? Like that's a pretty high profile guy in the world of track and field. And Asics, right? They've signed some folks of late, but yeah, I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, Joseph Fambule has probably been the more notable Asics sprinter who's going to make global finals. It is interesting. Kerley's 27 years old. My question is, do you think this was a Nike moving on from Kerley or Kerley moving on from Nike to find a better deal?
Well, I think because you mentioned those names there, right? Asics wanting to expand, maybe. And yeah, it's like he probably wants to be paid like the fastest man in the world. You don't blame him. He only has a few years to capitalize on this. And Nike sponsors a ton of athletes, right? So they're going to spread the money out. Asics and some of these other brands, a little more concentrated in how they spend their money, so they could commit more to one person, I assume, than Nike could.
Yeah. It just seems like weird for Nike to move on from the global 100-meter champion as we go into 3 more global championships of 2023 Budapest, 24 Paris, and 25 Tokyo. Do you think Nike is saying like, oh, you're 27, we don't think you're going to be in your prime in 28, 29, and 30, age 30? Like, do you think they're trying to move like?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, all that. I'm sure all that gets calculated in, right? They're trying to think about how to invest their money. They've talked about Nike, like the heads of Nike being less committed to running than in the past. So some of the stuff might get scaled down. So maybe they have to make some more choices. And it's like, all right, do we want to spend a bunch here or do you want to spread it out amongst a series of other people? I mean, they still have, we're talking about all these names. We just talked about Michael Norman, right? He's still with Nike. They still have Christian Coleman. He's still with Nike. So they're well represented in the 100 still. I mean, you have Bromell with New Balance and you have Lyles with Adidas. But in general, it's not as if you're not going to see swooshes out there on the track. But yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, none of this stuff is ever that public. You get like a little bit of details here and there about certain contractual comings and goings, but it's more just a brand that hasn't been that associated with the short sprints getting the fastest man in the world. That's why I'm like, okay, wow.
Looks like Kerley has a video on his Twitter. Put it in the top of the show notes. Colt, you can play that video of him announcing his partnership with Asics. I will say one thing that's kind of a bummer. We were talking about like Nike 4x1 versus Adidas 4x1. Now, we got to take Kerley off of our Nike 4x1.
Also, what's the one meet outside the World Championships and Olympics where we thought we could get all the top 100 guys together at?
The Diamond League, Prefontaine.
Prefontaine. Who funds Prefontaine?
Not Asics. It's Nike.
Right. And not New Balance, although Bromell's obviously gone there. And then yeah. So you have half of the big 6 at minimum. I don't know Bracey's current contract situation. So it's basically split either 3-3 or 4-2. So I don't think we'll see all 6 at Pre, is basically what I'm saying. But, oh no, Pre's a Diamond League final.
It's a Diamond League final. It's a Diamond League final, right, so maybe they all won't be it.